I've been asked a few times, what is my favorite standard classic dish that I like to make? There is one dish that I like to make, and I make it almost every week, at least once a week. And today I'm going to show you what that is. This standard classic dish of mine that I like to make almost every week, at least once a week. And the reason is that it is relatively cheap. It doesn't require much ingredient, and the ingredients are not that expensive. It is easy to make. It's making use of one whole chicken that I have here. So I have a whole chicken here, and it weighs about 1.5 kilos. And I'm going to poach this chicken to make a chicken stock, and also the chicken itself I can be used for any other thing that I want to do. Now, the ingredients going into making the chicken stock itself is very simple. I'm going to use some spring onions, 3 of them, and I'm just going to use the white sections of the spring onions with the roots to flavor the stock. The other ingredients I'm going to use to flavor the stock is a ginger. Now this ginger itself, I'm just going to use half of it to flavor the stock, and the other half I'm going to use it to make my dish for today. The third ingredient that goes into flavoring the stock is a white peppercorn, and I have white peppercorn over here in the jar, so I'm going to use this as well. I have made earlier videos in the past. I've made 2 videos. One, they both are poached chicken. One is the Hainanese poached chicken, and the other one is a soy poached chicken. So I have the link for the videos below the description or on the top right of this video. Now today I'm going to show you how easy it is to make your own chicken stock at home, and the byproducts of the chicken stock, I'm going to use it to make my congee or rice porridge, or in Cantonese it's called jook, or in my mother tongue Penang Hokkien it's called moi. And I'm going to make gay moi. Gay moi, K is chicken, so I'm going to make chicken congee or chicken rice porridge or chicken jook with sweet potato. So there are many types of congee, and you have seen several different videos. Everyone has their own version of making a Chinese congee or a Chinese porridge. It is very flexible. You can do whatever you like, but I'm going to show you my way, and I'm going to show you my method. My chicken congee with sweet potato. But the first thing which I'm going to do is to make the chicken stock. So I'm going to bring the water to a rapid boil. Once the water is boiling, I can turn down the heat. And then what I'm going to do is I'll put in the chicken. Now this chicken itself, I have already cleaned it, I've washed it, and I've cleaned the inside of the cavity as well. So it's ready to go into the pot as soon as the water comes to a boiling temperature. while waiting for the chicken to cook, I'm gonna start preparing the other ingredients that I'm gonna use to make my congee. And one of them is the spring onions, which I have over here. I've used the white sections in there, so I still have a little bit of the lighter part of the green of the spring onions and also the green part of the spring onions. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this into fine little pieces. Now, I'm also going to cut the ginger, and I'm gonna slice it very thinly and then slice it into very thin strips. I have my spring onions and my ginger cut up into pieces over here, which I'm gonna use to make the chicken congee. And my chicken is still being cooked in the pot there. Now, I can either use the chicken meat once the chicken is cooked in the pot by shredding the chicken meat to make my chicken congee, or I can make my chicken congee by using fresh chicken that I bought at the supermarket. Now I'm gonna do the latter because I want to show you how to make a chicken congee if you don't have any cooked chicken meat in the fridge. So let me show you how to make the chicken congee by using fresh chicken thigh fillet. So I have a few pieces of chicken thigh fillet that I bought at the supermarket today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it up into small pieces, and then I'm going to use my knife. Now, if you have a cleaver, it's better to use a cleaver. My cleaver is back in Penang. So I'm going to use a knife, and I'm just going to chop it to try and mince my chicken thigh fillet. And then I'm going to marinate the chicken meat with some sauces which I have over here to make my chicken congee. For making the congee, I'm just going to use 1 cup of rice. This is a big sack. I usually buy a 5 kilo and I use basmati rice. Now I have done an earlier video which I have made a fish congee. I will put a link below the description of this video or on the top right. And that video itself, I made my fish congee and I've done it a little bit different from what I'm showing you today. Today is a much simpler method as long as you have the base stock, which you can use chicken stock. Or if you don't have chicken stock, you can just use water. But I like to have chicken stock and I like to use my own homemade chicken stock to make my rice congee. Now you need to watch to make sure that the rice grain doesn't stick to the bottom of the pot. I'm gonna close the lid because I want to make sure that it comes to a rapid boil first, and then I'm going to give it a stir to check to make sure that the rice doesn't stick to the bottom. It may require to be cooked for at least an hour to get that broken texture of the rice grain like a rice congee. There's one last thing which I need to do is a sweet potato. I'm gonna cut this sweet potato into small bite pieces to cook in my congee because I'm making this as a chicken and sweet potato congee. I remember because when I was young as a kid growing up, my mom has made potato congee, and usually she'll put very finely minced chicken or finely minced pork, and she'll make it for us as a kid. Whether we are sick or not sick, we will eat congee. And congee is really good for you, and it's actually, what should I say, a comfort food. Yeah, that's correct. That's the word I'm trying to think. Congee is actually a Chinese comfort food, and when you feel sick or when you're not sick, you still eat congee. So that's my chicken and sweet potato congee or rice porridge. It takes about 1 hour to cook the rice porridge. I'm gonna scoop a small bowl to have a taste. I hope you enjoyed today's video, my home version of chicken congee with sweet potato. It's really healthy and it's a real comfort food. If you like this video, remember to subscribe and share with your friends and family. My name is Victor Koo. Thanks for watching. See you next week.